Central Arkansas Bears come to Stillwater to take on the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Both offenses are looking to shoot it out. Can the Cowboys shine in their home opener, or will the Bears spoil their party? It's time to kick it off on Fox College Football. Blue skies and sunshine. A beautiful day here in Stillwater, Oklahoma, where the Oklahoma State Cowboys call home Boone Pickens Stadium. Today, the Cowboys take on the upset-minded Bears of Central Arkansas. It is great to be with you. Mike working alongside former NFL defensive back J.C. Pearson. Oklahoma State trying to improve to 2-0. Might not be easy. A lot of upsets already in college football with FCS programs. Oklahoma State 7 wins a year ago. That's good for a lot of programs. But, J.C., they want to do better. Mike Gundy has set the bar high. And with Mason Rudolph now under center, they believe they can get higher.
Well, Mason Rudolph has played well so far, and the coaching staff really thinks that he has what it takes to become a special player. I think the big thing for him today is to control his emotions. This will be his first career start at home in front of friends and family. You know he's going to be extra hyped up and wanting to play well. He's going to have to control that, especially early in the game. And for Central Arkansas, their quarterback, Taylor Reed, has got to play well today. And what I mean by that, he's got to make some big plays if they're going to have any chance of winning this game. 43 completions last week, but 0 touchdowns, and only 2 of those went for 20 or more yards. He's going to need more of those, both of those things here today.
It would be a landmark victory for the Central Arkansas program if they can pull off the upset. Oklahoma State, other ideas in mind. Opening kickoff when we return from Stillwater. Central Arkansas, they're amped up, a chance for a historic upset victory if they can pull it off at a Big 12 venue here at Stillwater. Oklahoma State, they're trying to improve to 2-0, trying to get to a better place in the program right now, coming off a 7-6 season a year ago and looking to get back to those 10-win seasons that Mike Gundy rolled up not long ago. Boone Pickens Stadium, what a phenomenal facility this is, and a great day weather-wise. 75 degrees, humidity doesn't feel like 43. It feels quite comfortable, actually, compared to some of the places we've been recently, including Texas. Not much wind to speak of today. The Bears come in with head coach Steve Campbell. It's his first year with the program after 10 successful years at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. He won a national title there, as a matter of fact. And now coming off a 6-7 campaign. Mike Gundy, what a tremendous job he has done. It's his 11th year, former Big 12 Coach of the Year back in 2010. They won the Big 12 in 2011, also won the Fiesta Bowl, and of course he is a graduate of Oklahoma State back in 1990, one of 15 head coaches in college football to coach their alma mater. Oklahoma State coming in at 1-0, had a tough road win last week at a MAC school, Central Michigan, and Mount Pleasant. Now back at the friendly confines. It'll be Jeff Carr from the goal line returning the opening kickoff, and he is bottled up at the 11-yard line. Today's starting lineup brought to you by Express Employment for the Cowboys. Mike Gundy was very frank with us. His offensive line, it's average. It's still a work in progress. They are not dominating by any stretch of the imagination, but they've got some really good skill players both in the backfield and with their wide receivers. Very deep receiving core. And Chris Carson, the junior college transfer, they believe he can be one of the best running backs they've had in quite some time. Mason Rudolph, though, he will be orchestrating the controls. This is the young man we talked about in the open, and a young man that really has Coach Mike Gundy and company very excited. Just a sophomore. They took the red shirt off last season. It is his first career home start, his 5th total. And he will fire on first down, complete to the 15-yard line, and tackled down there, Marcel Aitman, who caught his first career touchdown pass last week. Central Arkansas defensively, they're led by Jonathan Woodard, 25 career sacks at second all-time in school history. Linebacking core, DJ Holland and Ricky Wyatt will try to clog the middle. And a secondary, it's going to be tested early and often today with this lethal passing attack of Oklahoma State. There's Rudolph completing another one, this time in the flat to Brandon Shepard. Not much there, though. Good job of containment by the Bears of Central Arkansas.
Yeah, and you see for Oklahoma State, the first couple plays are just easy, quick throws just to get the ball outside in the hands of your playmakers and see if they can make somebody miss and turn it into a big play. But so far, Central Arkansas defensively coming up making tackles. That was a big thing for them. They had to tackle much better. First two plays, good tackles.
On third down and short, Rudolph uncorks it and almost picked off. Getting his paw on it was George Odom, who had 9 tackles last week for Central Arkansas.
Yeah, great job by Odom coming under and almost making a play on this football. And the ball was a little late coming out of Rudolph's hands, and that allowed George Odom time to really close on it. And I think it surprised him a little bit, because if you could get that hand on it like that, you might be able to get that other hand up and could have maybe intercepted that ball.
If he does, it's a pick 6. Instead, it'll be 4th down. Cowboys will punt it away. It's Siner, the punter. And a fair catch at the 35 by Brandon Cox. So that will give us our first look at the Central Arkansas offense, brought to you by Express Employment. Cloker, Mallett, Willis, Kirsch, and Kyle Stouffer, the starting 5 on the O-line. They'll have their work cut out for them today against a very dangerous Oklahoma State defensive line. The receiving corps led by 88 Desmond Smith, 100 career receptions for the Bears. And Taylor Reed, who's now playing quarterback for his 3rd school and his 6th different coach. He had a school record 43 completions last week, but no touchdowns.
Yeah.
On first down, nothing doing on the ground game. Beasley on the carry, and a host of black jerseys, including 96 Vincent Taylor. Taylor will try and plug up the middle. Bean and Agba very dangerous on the outside. This is the fastest defense Oklahoma State has had in years. Burton, Simmons, and Jacobs. Simmons, an all Big 12 linebacker, and Kevin Peterson will anchor that secondary. He's another all Big 12 performer. Nice job shifting and wiggling out of trouble before being brought down to the 37 by Ashton Lampkin. That was Cox with the football.
Yeah, it's a good job by Central Arkansas trying to get to the outside, was able to get there, but at some point you got to turn the ball up the field and get positive yards. You're not going to outrun this defense to the sideline because they flow so quickly and they're so fast as a unit. At some point you got to get up the field.
They gained 7, but that leaves 3rd down and 7. And a penalty flag that's going to back them up 5 more.
Full start. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It's on the right guard, Jordan Kirsch. Our official today, our referee, is Reggie Smith.
Those are the kind of things that they can't have tonight. You go from 3rd and manageable to now 3rd and long. That's not a good situation to be if you're Central Arkansas.
3rd down and 12. Draw play. Gaping hole up the middle, and right near the marker is Blake Beasley. So they pull a surprise on Oklahoma State's defense.
That'd be a little bit short, though. But for Central Arkansas, yeah, well, I mean, why not go for it here? Doesn't have anything to lose here in this game, right? Go for it.
4th down to the less than a yard. Reed under center. Going to try and go behind that pile. They got a decent push up the gut. I think he's got it.
I'll tell you what, man. What about the momentum for Central Arkansas right now? The defense comes in, 3 and out. They get the ball to their offense. Their offense now have move the ball, convert. Now they got 1st and 10. I mean, they've got to feel good about what they're doing right now.
We'll see if they can cash in here on their opening drive. Again to the ground. Nowhere goes Blake Beasley. Bear hugged by Vincent Taylor leading the charge.
Central Arkansas, what they want to do offensively is they want to just keep it simple. They don't want to try to do too much and confuse themselves. They want to try to keep it simple, execute the things that they're good at, but make it look from different formations and personnel.
Again to the ground, and again, just no daylight for Blake Beasley. Jimmy Bean off the edge, comes in and makes the stop.
Jimmy Bean and Vince Taylor. I mean, that whole defensive front for Oklahoma State is very good. You got to get those guys blocked first. If you can get past the defensive front and get to the second wave, well, now you got a shot. But so far, they haven't been able to get past the D-line.
Thomas, the lone back on 3rd and 8. They'll go 4 wide. And a delay of game penalty.
Confusion.
There is no foul for delay of game. Prior to the expiration of the play clock, Central Arkansas calls their first timeout.
So they just get the timeout off. And we'll take one with them. 10:36 to play, scoreless here in the first quarter from Stillwater. Good start to the game for Central Arkansas. A 3-and-out on defense, a 4th down conversion on offense, and now getting ready for the 7th play of their drive.
Yeah, but a lot of confusion forced them to take a timeout. Look at the Oklahoma State defense. Nobody has their hand on the ground. So right now, they don't know who to declare. So the offensive linemen don't know who to block, and time was running out, forced them to take a timeout.
Now on 3rd down and 8, they set up the slip screen, and that was dangerous pass to Desmond Smith. There were all kinds of black jerseys in the neighborhood.
Yeah, and again, no defensive lineman with the hand on the ground, so really the offensive linemen aren't sure who to block. A lot of black jerseys in the backfield, as well as man-to-man on the outside that just completely blew that screen up.
To 10:31. Well, the clock operator.
So the Cowboy defense stiffens up when they need to. Jalen McCleskey back to receive the punt. He is a true freshman out of Covington, Louisiana. The son of J.J. McCleskey, who played in the NFL for many years. Matthew Spencer is the punter for Central Arkansas. We're waiting on the play clock to get started here. It's stuck on 25.
31, and leave my microphone open so that it can be controlled from the field. 10:31 on the clock.
Now they switch the game clock to 10:31. And the play clock is going, so we can return to football. Spencer, a senior. Rugby styles it. Near the sideline, hauling at the 19. A flag could be a roughing the punter call. McCleskey takes it to the 15, but hold the phone. This might be going back. It might be Central Arkansas getting a first down.
Yeah, I don't know. Might have been some good acting there. I don't know if he really got hit or not, but if anything, I think it'd be running into the kicker and not a roughing. But from here, it looked like there was some acting going on down there.
Running into the kicker, defense number 5. The penalty is declined. First down, UCA. Timeout.
So just a 5-yarder. It will be Oklahoma State football.
34-yard loss of 3 on the return.
We'll see the Cowboys' second drive when we come back. A little Oscar performance, perhaps, from Matthew Spencer. Cowboys will have it when we come back. 10:23 to go in the first quarter. Oklahoma State and Central Arkansas scoreless as we say hello to the third member of our team, Steffi Sorensen.
Mike, JC, plenty of excitement down here on the field over Mason Rudolph's first home debut. Now, if you go back to when he was last playing in front of his home crowd, it was in high school. And I talked to his high school coach, Kyle Richardson of Northwestern High out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. He said something to me very interesting. He said Mason actually texted him this morning and asked how he did last night in Friday's game. And then he also said that in high school, he really enjoyed playing on the road. So he actually, instead of playing at home, he liked playing on the road. And lastly, guys, as far as managing the hype, Coach Richardson said that he's been dealing with that since he was in high school. a town that has over 25 draft picks. And his last words to Mason Rudolph for today: do your job, the rest will take care of itself. Back to you guys.
Well, Steffi, thanks. Mason Rudolph, for those that don't know, Rock Hill has been a football factory for the better part of 3 decades now. Several players in the NFL and Northwestern High School specifically, where he played. A number of quarterbacks coming out of there, including Justin Worley, who recently played for Tennessee. On second down, bottled up. Great ankle tackle in the backfield by the Sam linebacker, Garrett Sharp. A loss of 2 for Carson.
Yeah, you know, going back to Rudolph, too, sometimes it is easier to play on the road. Less distractions. You don't have to worry about friends and family, and they want tickets. And when you're on the road, you can just focus on what you have to do. So I always enjoyed playing on the road for those reasons. And it seems like Mason Rudolph likes to play on the road as well.
Now third down and long, a timeout called. It's the second one burned by Central Arkansas. We'll take it with him. We'll step aside. 9:47 to go. First quarter still scoreless in Stillwater. .47 to go, first quarter, scoreless game. Oklahoma State on offense, led by that man, Mason Rudolph. 4 career starts under his belt. Again, none of them here at the friendly confines of Boone Pickens Stadium, but all 4 pretty impressive when you break down the numbers and the level of competition, JC.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's come in and played well for such a young guy. You know, not those gaudy numbers that, you know, Brandon Weeden put up and those kind of things, but he can get there. You can see a great throw right there. Right on target to Aikman, who caught his first career touchdown pass last week against Central Michigan. Tremont Smith on the coverage, a gain of 21. Like so many offenses in the Big 12, you'll see Oklahoma State run a lot of tempo. Play action. All kinds of time. Throws. Has a man open at the 30. Foot race. And lassoed down from behind at the 10. That is Jalen McCleskey, the freshman. Winfrey on the coverage. Big play for the Cowboys. Yep, and that's been a problem for Central Arkansas. They gave up way too many big plays down the field last week. 7 plays of over 20-plus yards, and Oklahoma State obviously watched that video, and they're attacking them down the field. That goes for 56 on the ground. It's Carson. It grinds out a couple. You can see the big play, just man coverage, and he just misses him and just runs wide open down the field. That's just too easy. If you're going to play man and you're going to try to jam the guy, you got to get up and get your hands on him, because if you try to do it that far down the field, you got no chance. Jeff Carr, another freshman in at tailback, and the quarterback is J.W. Walsh. Walsh, the 5th-year senior who was the starter for much of last season. A little option play to the 10, to the 5, and stacked up at about the 3-yard line. That's Jeff Carr on the carry. Oklahoma State, Mike Gundy told us J.W. Walsh would play. They have packages designed for him. And the other thing that impressed me, JC, is how this young man has taken it in stride, losing his starting job. Yeah, you got to stay in there, and you know, he's taking it like a champion, like you want him to take it, and he knows that he's going to play. They're going to have some packages for him, and Coach Gundy said he's going to play a lot more. Third and goal. Rudolph back in at quarterback with penalty flags flying back at the 10-yard line. Rudolph had to tuck it and run. Holland stopped him.
Holding offense number 73. 10-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
Well, now let me ask you this, JC. If you decline the penalty, you force a 4th down here. Yeah, that's something you got to think about. But they're right there, the left tackle, Victor Saleko. You can see hands outside the shoulder pads all the way around defensive end. That's an easy call right there. That's a wrestling takedown. That's what is that, 2 points? 2 points. Yeah. I'm surprised that they're taking the penalty here. It would have been 4th and goal from about the 3. Now you're giving Rudolph and company another crack at it here from the 14. They go 3 wide. Rudolph, clean pocket, throws toward the end zone. And it's intercepted. Wow, George Odom somehow got his hands on it and hauled it in.
The ruling on the field is a touchback. First down.
What a play by George Odom.
Pass was intercepted. Number 31, George Odom. That's the ruling on the field.
About that.
Odom somehow grabs it and holds on. Fox College Football is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. And by Ford. The best deals are happening now only at your Oklahoma Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Oklahoma. Mike Morgan, J.C. Pearson, we have our first controversial play of the game. And JC, when you watch this, there's a lot of different scenarios, but I don't know how this could be an interception for George Odom.
And now, great effort by George Odom, but he's clearly going to be out of bounds. But you look right here, look like Bobby Watkins is going to intercept it, and then they go to the ground, and that's when Odom takes the ball away, but he's going to clearly be out of bounds. Watch George Odom, number 31. When he takes that ball away right there, his right foot is already out of bounds. So I think that is enough evidence right there, and clearing conclusive evidence that that interception is going to have to be overturned.
And remember now, simultaneous possession goes to the offense if that's what the ruling is. But I don't know how you could say that Odom had it inbounds.
And I don't think that you can rule on a simultaneous catch now. I think that the question is, was it an interception or was he out of bounds? I think those are the only two things that they can review on this play. And you can see Odom, great job of getting back there, but as he takes that ball away right there, and again, you know, what you're saying, it looks like Glidden might be on the ground with the ball.
Right. But
they're not. I don't think that they're challenging, was it a touchdown or not. Right there, Glidden might have the ball, but it was taken away, obviously, by Odom, and
you know,
Odom was out of bounds.
Looked like a game of hot potato where Bobby Watkins, the safety, had it, then Glidden, then
After
Odom.
further review, the defensive player was out of bounds. The pass is incomplete. It'll be fourth down and goal from the 14-yard line at the hash mark closest to the press box. The clock will start on the snap.
So pretty good news if you're Oklahoma State. You get yourself a chance at a field goal here.
Yeah, what a strange play, though.
Very, very bizarre. Three different players
had a chance to catch the ball.
Yeah,
right?
had the ball in their hands during that one single play. So Oklahoma State will settle for what amounts to what normally would be a chip shot field goal for Ben Grogan, but he missed two last week. One from 26, one from 42. This is from 31 yards out. Perfect snap and hold, and this one is true. Cowboys strike with 7:44 to play in the opening quarter. It's 3-0.
I still think that if you're Central Arkansas, you have to feel good about yourself. You give up a long pass play over 50 yards, and then you stiffen up and you hold Oklahoma State to 3 points there. You know, I think the way that their defense is playing right now, I think they've got to feel good about where they are.
This is a defense for Central Arkansas that, quite frankly, got worked over last week by Samford.
Right.
So we weren't expecting a real salty effort today.
Absolutely. That's what I mean. They get beat by Samford 45-16 last week, and Samford just goes up and down the field on them. So we really expected Oklahoma State to come out and put up a lot of points early, but so far in this first quarter they've only allowed 3 points. So that's why I said that they've got to be feeling good about themselves.
The drive, 8 plays, 70 yards for Oklahoma State. 2:39 off the clock, culminated by the 31-yard field goal from Ben Grogan. Now we'll see how Central Arkansas responds. They've got a dangerous return man back there in Jatavius Wilson, number 4. In his career, he has 3 kickoff returns for touchdowns, and he's returned kickoffs 72 times in his career. The KG veteran circling under this one and hauling it in at the goal line. looking for a convoy. Tries to turn it upfield and gets popped at the 20, and a penalty flag goes down. He got hammered.
Reporter in Vegas, Wilson on the return. Met by number 5, Terrell Morrow.
Morrow was on the stop for Oklahoma State, number 5.
During the return, holding receiving team, number 35. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Let's go to Jenny Taft in L.A. for a Fox College football game break.
Mike, thanks. An upset in the SEC. Number 18, Arkansas, trailing Toledo with 1 second to play. Brandon Allen scrambles. He can't find anyone. Toledo pulls off the upset, 16-12 in Arkansas. Mike, JC, back to you.
All right, thank you very much. I tell you, Auburn almost got stunned by Jacksonville State. They had to go to overtime. When Arkansas gets bitten by the Mac bug. Thomas on the carry, a loss of 1.
Tell you what, a lot of these teams, they schedule these smaller schools thinking that, oh, it's a non-conference game, we'll work out some kinks. But for those smaller schools, these games are huge for them. They get to play the big boys, and they have something to prove. And Toledo obviously put it on Arkansas.
That's a devastating loss for Coach Bielema and company. A lot of people thought they'd be a surprise in the Western Division of that league this year. Nowhere to run for Taylor Reed, just trying to find any daylight. Stumbles forward for about a yard. Emmanuel Agba, who is the reigning Big 12 Defensive Lineman of the Year, on the tackle.
Agba is so fast and so quick off the edge. I mean, he's going to be a problem all night long for Central Arkansas. Again, one of the best players in the not only in the Big 12, but in the entire country coming off the edge.
You see him lined up over the left tackle. There he is, getting the hit on the quarterback. Complete at the 12, shy of the first down. Wilson on the reception, but Emmanuel Agba was breathing right down the neck of Taylor Reed on the throw.
Really rushed that throw and could have gotten a holding call. Also, you see him just that speed and strength right there, and just gets right to Taylor Reed. Giving Lance Cloker, that left tackle, all that he wants.
When you watch Emmanuel Agba today, you are looking at a potential first-round draft pick. He has all the things you look for in a rush end at the next level. McCleskey back to receive the punt. Won't be able to track this one down. It will bounce dead at about the 45. A 41-yard punt and no return. Next week, Fox has you covered with more Big 12 football. Louisiana Tech at Kansas State. That begins at 3 o'clock Eastern time. Then at 8 o'clock, Chad Morris and his SMU Mustangs take on nationally ranked TCU. Get your college football fix on Fox. Louisiana Tech, of course, led by Skip Holtz. Kansas State trying to avoid an upset there to Conference USA. And then SMU, we had them last year in a game, JC. In fact, it was June Jones's last ever game. He quit right after a stinging loss to North Texas, but I think Chad Morris is the right guy for the job.
Yeah, they played well early on against Baylor last week.
Pass complete to Brandon Shepard. On a corner route, Shepard finds daylight for 26 yards.
Oklahoma State continuing to throw the ball down the field. I'm really surprised that they're not running the ball a lot more with Chris Carson and establishing line of scrimmage, establish the running game, and then try to throw the ball down the field.
They feed Carson here, bottled up right at the line of scrimmage.
And the reason why I say that, Mike, is because even though this offensive line is still gelling and coming together, they're big, they're strong, and they should be able to move that defensive line of Central Arkansas and get that running game going, force those safeties to have to come down and help in the run game. Then that really opens up things downfield.
Carson is a guy Mike Gundy very high on. Junior college All-American, averaged over 7 yards in junior college ball as Rudolph lasers one at the 22, complete. That's to the tight end, Jeremy Seaton. They call him the cowboy back.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, though, Mason Rudolph showed a lot of maturity, a lot of poise on that play, going through his progressions. The play started to go to the right side. Nobody was open. He went all the way through his progression reads, all the way back to the left side for a completion.
Randolph has completed 4 of his last 5 for a $111. Back to the ground game. Big hole. 15, 5, touchdown, Chris Carson. "21 yards and the first career touchdown for Chris Carson."
Yeah, and that's what they're going to get to, because if you can be balanced, boy, this offense is going to be tough to stop. And you can see Chris Carson, they really, really like him. The junior college transfer, they come downhill, a lot of power, a lot of speed.
The preseason Big 12 newcomer of the year, Chris Carson, finds pay dirt for the first time in a Cowboys uniform. And the extra point tacked on by Grogan.
I tell you, they just run the zone. He's just going to get the ball and just find a hole, to put a hat on a hat, and then just try to find a crease. And then look at the crease right there, a hat on a hat. That's all a guy like Carson needs, with that quickness and speed and good size that he has, and jump through the hole right there, and now there's nobody left. So again, if they can get that running game going and established, this offense is going to be so much more efficient.
One of those hat-on-hat blocks you spoke of, Michael Wilson. Great job by the left guard to help open up that crease. A 4-play scoring drive, 55 yards, a minute 26 off the clock. And just like that, the Cowboys now up 10-0. Oklahoma State has the firepower. You know, it's real interesting when we talked to Coach Gundy and asked him about last year compared to the other years. You know, they were rolling for a while. They were putting up 40 points a game, making it look easy. Then last year, 27 points a game. Offense was bogged down. They lost 5 in a row. He said, look, I didn't have Brandon Weeden. I didn't have Des Bryant.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different offense, but he believes they can get back to where they used to be.
Yeah, and you know, you get spoiled. The fans get spoiled when you put up those big numbers year after year, but it's not realistic that you can do it every single year. They think they can get back to that, and that's what they're shooting for.
Wilson wiggling out of trouble and finds the sideline. A 20-yard return. As we take a look at our Academy Sports Right Stuff player for Central Arkansas, it is Jatavius Wilson. Not only a great return man, but a guy that can beat you as a wide receiver. You see what he did last week. Total yards against Samford, 281. He caught 9 passes for 82 yards. So we'll see if they get him involved in the passing game today.
Well, they're going to have to try to find a way, because this offense is going to have to make some big plays down the field. They're not going to be able to put 8-play, 9-play, 10-play drives against this Oklahoma State defense. You got to try to go over the top.
On play action, the lefty fires and it sails high. Taylor Reed trying to hit the tight end Justin Dickey.
That's one that Taylor Reed probably should have ran. Taylor Reed is a dual threat guy capable of running. That's one that he probably should have ran, because he held the ball so long. Really, Justin Dickey wasn't open at all.
On second down, flares it out near side. Spinning his way to the 27-yard line, Jatavius Wilson, brought down by Ramon Richards after a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what, you're not going to see many more fast defenses or defense that are faster than this one. You see they throw that bubble screen outside, and there's 5 black jerseys on the tackle outside the numbers. These defenses, and they're fresh. You know, Coach Gundy said that they got a lot of depth this year. They can rotate a lot of guys and keep guys fresh so that they can play fast just like that.
Third and intermediate. Again, flaring it out, and that's going to be a first down. Nice job weaving his way through traffic. Dominique Thomas goes for 11.
Yeah, nice play by Central Arkansas. Get the ball out quickly. Let a guy like Dominique Thomas just do what he can do out there, make a couple guys miss, and get a big gain in a first down for you.
It's a big drive. You know, it's 10-0. Those 10 points came in a hurry. You want to prove that you still belong in this game right now if you're Central Arkansas. Penalty flag. Deep ball on the way in bracketed coverage. No chance for Desmond Smith.
And that's okay because they've got a free play. Look like it's going to be offsides on Oklahoma State, so
Offside.
you take a chance.
Defense, number 79. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That is Darion Daniels. He is a true freshman from Dallas. Huge recruit for Mike Gundy and company. And I mean huge in two different ways. In terms of prestige and literally size. 6'3", 320 goes the true freshman.
Played well last week, too. You know, what did Coach Gundy tell us? He said, hey, we don't usually get freshmen that are 300 pounds. We get the 250, 60-pound kid that we've got to build up. But Daniels came in big and strong and ready to play.
Thomas again, a steady diet of carries for him. Brought down by the all Big 12 linebacker Ryan Simmons after a short gain of a yard. It'll be second down and 4 for the Bears. Split twins for Taylor Reed. They hand it off. Cracking the right side is Thomas. Not much there. Number of black jerseys, including Devontae Everett, after a gain of 2.
What a great play that was by Everett, too. Taking on a blocker and still gets off to make the tackle. I mean, that is a great play by that young man.
You mentioned it, Mike Gundy telling us this is the fastest defense he's had in 11 years, and it's the deepest defense. We're going to see them go 2-3 deep at almost every position today. That's not a slight at Central Arkansas. That's just a credit to how deep this defense is. Third and a couple. And stacked up behind the line is Thomas. Not going to make it.
Ran right into Ryan Simmons, and once Ryan Simmons hit him, he didn't move anymore. But again, you get the disruption up front from the defensive line again with the penetration. And watch Vincent Taylor, number 96, up the field right there and just forces him to cut back, and then he runs right into Ryan Simmons, who started every game in the last 3 years. The active career leader in tackles here at Oklahoma State, and had nothing going after that.
McCleskey back to receive the punt from Spencer from the 14, and he is immediately popped and dropped for a loss. A 38-yard punt. Last drive for Oklahoma State, a good one, JC.
Yeah, it was some big plays down the field, throwing the ball. Got the run game going, but you see Mason Rudolph showing his poise, maturity, and then the handoff here on the inside zone to Chris Carson to finish off that drive. Really a good-looking drive by Oklahoma State. They had the pass, long pass, intermediate pass, the run game, and seems like they're starting to find a rhythm offensively.
Mason 5 of 8 for 116 so far in the game. He'll hand it off here on first down. And a nice cut back there. And yet another one near the 20. And finally knocked out of bounds is Chris Carson. There you see some of the moves that has the staff and Oklahoma State fans excited about this young man.
Absolutely. You can, like you said, you can see right there what everyone is so excited about.
Over the middle, bobbled and then caught to the 40, Austin Hayes.
And you know what? By them running the ball, that forced those linebackers to really get close to the line of scrimmage. That's why that little pop over the middle is wide open for Hayes.
Before you can catch your breath, they snap it. Look at that leapfrog by Chris Carson, pulling off a high jump routine on his way to a 10-yard gain.
Yeah, he can run around you, run through you, and jump over you, too, if you're in the way. Look, Jermon Smith looked around like, where'd he go? Wow.
Jermon Smith is no water bug either. He's 6 feet tall, playing that corner spot.
He looked around at Chris Carson like, what was that?
And now a late whistle.
This is the end of the first
That'll be the end of the first quarter. Oklahoma State starting to heat up on offense. Chris Carson. Get your own highlight reel started, young man. A beautiful run. Oklahoma State leads it 10-0. Minutes in the books, 45 to go. Oklahoma State looking to improve to 2-0 in the year, leading Central Arkansas 10-0. First quarter stats. Central Arkansas was stingy early, but since then Oklahoma State has opened up on offense. 132 yards, 10 quick points, and on the march here with Rennie Childs in a tailback, gets the carry, and he is dragged backwards for a loss. Nice job by Ricky Wyatt, the linebacker, coming in, a loss of 3.
Yeah, big aggressive tackle by Ricky Wyatt. I'd like to see those linebackers aggressive, attacking the ball like that. Big tackle.
Second down and 13. Rudolph out of the shotgun, play action, surveys, fires over the middle, leaping, almost caught it, but lost it on the handle. Brandon Shepard just spilled out of his mitts.
Yeah, and Central Arkansas plays a lot of man-to-man outside, so there's going to be some opportunities down the field. But Tremont Smith, 29, great job of timing the ball, goes up, knocks that ball away, even though it almost bounces back to Shepard. But great job by Smith, 29, in single coverage, man-to-man, no help, and is able to make that play.
Now third down and 13. With pressure, delivers a strike, caught at midfield. Shake and bake move at the 49, and down to the 47-yard line. It's David Glidden, the fifth-year senior out of Mustang, Oklahoma. Wyatt with another tackle. And they'll set up fourth down and long, and Oklahoma State will have to go back to the punting unit.
Yeah, big series, though, for that Central Arkansas defense, because like you said, Oklahoma State had put 10 straight points up and looked like they were rolling. They had to come up with the big stop to stay in this game.
Signer to punt it. A redshirt freshman out of Castroville, Texas. And this could be a beaut. It will roll dead inside the 10. That's what you want. Nice job by the punter. Signer, a 38-yard punt. No return. Bears football when we come back. Nothing Cowboys, second quarter, as we check in with Steffi Sorensen.
Yeah, Mike, I was standing behind Central Arkansas's bench, and after the first quarter ended, head coach Steve Campbell sat over, got in the stance, went through specific techniques with his offensive line, who's obviously frustrated and can't get any sort of movement against this tough, physical Oklahoma State line. So look for some adjustments coming on the offensive side, guys.
It's going to be a long day, perhaps, for that offensive line, because as we talked about, JC, they've got a lot of weapons, including that guy, number 92, Jimmy Bean. If you key on Agba, Jimmy Bean's going to get you from the other side.
Yeah, they've got a lot of studs up front. Watch Jimmy Bean, number 92, just jumps inside the block of Lance Cloker. Cloker just drops his head and doesn't even see him, and Vince Bean jumps right inside and makes that tackle. So I'm sure he'll be getting some more technical work on the sideline when he gets back over there.
Bean has really bulked up since he arrived on campus, up to 252 now. Pass is caught in the flat, so that'll get some of that yardage back. Jatavius Wilson on 2nd and 15 gets you 10. And he'll set up a third down and 5 for the Bears.
Yeah, and what you would like to see, Mike, is that Taylor Reed get that ball out there so that Wilson doesn't have to fall down to catch it. Give him an opportunity to make some yards after the catch. Throw it out there where he can make a play on the ball and then hopefully after the ball.
Very underrated part of being a quarterback, not just completing passes, hitting receivers where they can do damage after the reception.
Absolutely.
Third down and 5. Backfield emptied out by Beasley, who then is the intended target coming out of the backfield. Little circle pass action, but the throw is high.
Yeah. Might have been a little hot, but catchable. Beasley, I think, has got to make that catch, and then they've got a fresh set of downs. But again, might be able to take a little heat off of that. And now here again, getting the talking. These offensive linemen, we saw Cloker give up a big tackle for a loss. Stouffer on the other side, the other tackle. Both of those guys getting talked to.
Spencer booms this one. And it's off the hands of the return man, McCleskey. A freshman mistake. They'll be fortunate to hold on to the possession of the football. We'll see more of this man, Chris Carson. Perhaps a little more high jump action when we come back from Stillwater. Fox College football is presented by Oklahoma Farm Bureau. We are the same Oklahoma Farm Bureau you have always trusted, now even better. Mike Morgan, J.C. Pearson, Steffi Sorensen, our fantastic Fox crew here in Stillwater, Oklahoma. A 10-0 Cowboys lead with 12:04 to play in the first half. Oklahoma State got off to a little bit of a sluggish start. They've picked it up here of late as we take a look at our Academy Sports Right Stuff player for Oklahoma State. It is first-year running back Chris Carson. Got a couple of highlight runs already, trying to put together another one here, but he can't. Stifled in the backfield. DJ Holland, the linebacker, with the tackle.
Yeah, great job by that front, getting up the field and disrupting things. And I think that was Dawson Hadnot, actually number 91, that actually was the first guy in there to disrupt the run and force Chris Carson to have to spin. And by that time, the rest of his defenders were there to make the tackle. But great job by Hadnot.
Second down, 14. Clean pocket for Mason Rudolph, who fires high. He had a couple of those last week. Mike Gundy told us that we've got to eliminate drops and we got to be a little more accurate.
Yep, those overthrows, and I think Coach Gundy said that he had 5 of them actually last week. Those overthrows that hit those throws, and that was really a pass that should have been caught. If he gets that ball down, the receiver's wide open. But he said if we hit those, this offense obviously moves a lot better.
James Washington in at receiver on a 3-wide set. Rudolph fires complete. Perfect strike there, and a great catch by Washington. 15 yards and a first down.
And right there was a good throw, a good catch, and actually good coverage. The ball's in the perfect spot that only the receiver Washington can make that catch.
And that one a little bit high. Trying to go back to Washington, who had a team best 6 touchdowns last year as a freshman.
And again, another ball that's a little bit high that should have been completed. You get that ball to Washington there. Now he has an opportunity to turn up the field and make some additional yards, but Mason Rudolph a little excited there, and the ball kind of got away from him.
On second down, 3-man rush. All kinds of time. Now he's flushed out. Rudolph brought down, loose football. And Oklahoma State, I believe a lineman pounced on it. Should be Cowboys football. Derek Floyd knocked it free for Central Arkansas.
Boy, great hustle from the backside. You see Rudolph never sees him coming, or Floyd, you can see right here, never sees the defender coming from the backside, and able to get there and knock that ball out. But the unfortunate part for Central Arkansas is they couldn't recover it.
It's a loss of 7, and by the way, the 4th tackle for loss by the Bears defense. Again, just a 3-man rush, all kinds of time, and intercepted at the 35. At midfield, looking for a block. This is Winfrey down the sideline. Another block at the 20, and finally tackled out of bounds at the 16-yard line. A big turnover there and a 50-yard return.
Wow, how about that? A huge turnover, and Brandon Shepard never saw the ball. And again, Tremont Smith makes a play on it. We've seen him make a couple good plays so far in this game on the ball. This time, able to come up with the big interception.
After after the interceptions and during the return. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, late hit away from the play, intercepting team number 34. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. UCA keeps the ball, first down and 10.
Yeah, kind of a silly penalty there, but Tremont Smith, a sophomore out of Anniston, Alabama, on the pick.
Yeah, watch 29 right here. He sees the ball the entire way, and it looks like Brandon Shepard, the receiver, never could find it. So Smith plays the ball the entire way, comes up with the interception and the big return. Unfortunately, they get a personal foul. Has nothing to do with the play, and now they're back to the 45-yard line when they could have been way down in the red zone. So again, a great play defensively, but a bad play with the penalty.
Yeah, in essence, that penalty backs them up 30 yards from where it would have been. It would have been at the 15. Instead, it's at the 45. So a little more work for the offense here. Taylor Reed and company on the field. Down 10-0.
Yeah, and that's huge. I mean, this offense has been struggling, obviously haven't scored yet. Can't have those kind of silly penalties, especially away from the ball where it really doesn't even matter. You get a personal foul.
Meanwhile, another delay of game. It's the second time that the Bears inexplicably let the play clock run down. On 1st and 15. Look out from behind. There's Agba, and he brings him down. Emmanuel Agba, almost impossible to block one-on-one, gets his first sack of the day.
Yeah, and he's really given Lance Cloker a lot of problems at left tackle. We've seen Cloker get beaten a number of times, so now you got to, like you said, you got to give him some help. So now they put a tight end over there to try to help and chip.
Nothing doing on 2nd and long. It'll be 3rd and about 15.
Yeah, and Agba, can watch him again right here. I mean, he just has the entire package. Just comes around right here, and just speed right there. Cloker just doesn't have the foot speed or the upper body strength to make him run around the quarterback. I mean, Agba just throws him away, runs right by him, and gets right to the quarterback. So they're going to have to give Cloker, that left tackle, some help in passing situations like right here.
Agba, Nigerian-born and Texas-bred out of Houston. On 3rd and long, 4-man rush. Again, heavy heat. Deep ball thrown at the last second by Reed, intended for Jatavius Wilson. But the coverage is there, the throw is not, and the Bears will have to punt.
Now again, Mike, you go back to, you would have had the ball at the 15, but you have a nonsense penalty, so now you start at the 45, then you have a delay of game that pushes you back to the 50, and now you get nothing out of it.
And as you mentioned, it didn't help you on the return of the least. It's completely away from the football.
Right.
So it's just a kind of a selfish play that cost you a minimum of 3 points. Fair catch called for and made at the 12 by McCleskey. Cowboys back on the field when we come back from Stillwater. They lead it 10-0. 10-0 our score. Cowboys on top of the Bears with 8:44 to play in the first half. The story on offense so far has been Mason Rudolph.
He hasn't been sharp, Mike. You can see right here, this ball was intercepted, but unfortunately George Odom was out of bounds. You can see the overthrow there, and then now the interception here to Tremont Smith, and Mason Rudolph just not real sharp right now, and that's why Oklahoma State is only up 10-0. He's got to be much sharper with his throws.
Completes one here in the flat. That's the first grab. Juwan Seals, the junior, by way of Port Arthur, Texas. Gain of 11 from the 24. Rudolph again completes it at the 32-yard line. Seals again for 9.
Yeah, just isolating Dylan Winfrey, that left corner, who really had a tough time last week against Samford. They really went after him consistently in the passing game.
Here's Chris Carson. Carson cuts it upfield, past the 45, and wrestled out of bounds there by Bobby Watkins. 13 more yards for Chris Carson.
He's a good-looking player. And I know Oklahoma State is a throwing team, and that's what they're known for. But if it was me, I'd start with Chris Carson and then work the passing game off of him.
Good pass in the flat. Shepard.
That's complete. Number 7, Brendan
We're
Shepard.
spreading the wealth. That's 7 yards for Shepard. They've had some good running backs come through here under Mike Gundy. Kendall Hunter, Joseph Randall, a couple of NFL tailbacks. Of course, Justin Blackman, Des Bryant, NFL receivers. Brandon Wheaton, an NFL quarterback. I mean, they have had some weapons come to Stillwater. Probing the left side, can't get out of an ankle tackle there. Carson brought down a loss of a couple. Ricky Wyatt leading the charge.
Yeah, good tackle by Ricky Wyatt. Because if he misses that tackle, Chris Carson had a lot of room to run out there. But Ricky Wyatt, good-looking safety. You see 5'11", not real tall, but pretty stout and a short tackler. We've seen him make a couple of good, impressive tackles here today.
Now 3rd down and 6. And that'll be the last time out of the half for Central Arkansas.
Final timeout of the half.
And we will take it with them. 7:08 to play, first half. Oklahoma State leading it 10-0 our score. It's time now for a Mercy game summary. First catch made by McCleskey on a deep ball earlier than the controversial play, which initially was called an interception. They would call it an incomplete pass. That would set up the field goal, and then Rudolph going downfield again to Brandon Shepard. And then this exciting tailback, Chris Carson, the junior college All-American, having a terrific first half. A little bit lower score than a lot of people thought we'd have right now, just 10 on the board. Cowboys marching here, 3rd down, in coverage, tipped, and almost picked off, incomplete. The secondary for Central Arkansas has made some plays, JC.
Yeah, especially that young man right there, Tremont Smith. And although there's a flag on the play.
Holding offense number 73. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
That's Saleko, the left tackle, the transfer from UAB.
Yeah, but the secondary.
Correction. The coach has elected to decline the foul. Right. It's 4th down.
That would make sense, so that'll force the punt.
And you got to think that last week against Samford, they gave up a ton of yards, 45 points. They were getting beaten all over the field, and then they come here to Oklahoma State, who you would think is much better than Samford.
Right.
And these guys are playing lights out. They're covering receivers down the field and making plays on the ball. And so those guys have definitely come to play, and they've raised their game today.
Cox back to receive the punt. And will haul it in at the 11 and puts it into reverse. That's never a good thing. A 39-yard punt and a loss of 3 on the return. I'm not sure what that was.
And I think his own man might have knocked him back just a little bit right there.
With friends like that, who needs enemies?
Yeah. I think that was Darian Daniels right there, number 10. Knocks him backwards a little bit off balance.
See what Taylor Reed and company could do on offense as they go back to work. Poor field position from their own 8-yard line, and penalty flags fly.
Offside with contact. Defense number 97. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
It's Eric Davis, one of the backup defensive tackles, a junior from Tyler, Texas.
Please reset the game clock to
Defensive coordinator
6:53.
Glenn Spencer. You expect a lot of the sloppiness to be cleaned up in week 2. We saw a lot of that in week 1. But you hope that as a team you get a lot more clean with your play in week 2.
Yeah, you would think, and then being at home, opening, one of the things last week they talked about was playing at Central Michigan, a small crowd and not much atmosphere, and you know, they don't have that excuse today. They're at home in front of their crowd and still see that they're not quite in sync yet.
First down reception for Wilson. He had 9 of them last week for Central Arkansas. Little jailbreak screen. That ball is bounced around like a pinball in the midst of a handful of linemen. Smith was the intended target.
Yeah, too crowded in there. I mean, Taylor Reed's got to realize that just got to throw that ball away. He just threw it into a crowd. I think he just threw that and was hoping.
Wilson, the motion man. They give it to him on the sweep. Wilson breaks tackles at the 30, past the 35, and down to the 38-yard line. A gain of 19 on a well-designed play. Stearns and the Lampkin might have saved the touchdown.
Yeah, just that jet sweep to Wilson. He's their speed guy. He's their explosive guy. Got to get him the ball somehow. They haven't been able to really throw it to him, so hand it to him on those jet sweeps and let that speed go to work.
Longest play of the day for the Bears. On first down, between the tackles. Good hard running by Dominique Thomas for 4. Steve Campbell, the head coach, Pensacola native. How about this? He was a former grad assistant under Pat Dye at Auburn. Been around a while. On second down, the lefty tosses in the flat near side, weaving his way through traffic as Thomas stacked up near the marker. Acom on the tackle, number 9 for Oklahoma State.
Tell you, Central Arkansas finding a little rhythm here. And I think it's because they're running the ball a little bit. They're changing up what they're doing and not just throwing the ball, sitting in the pocket, letting guys like Agba and Jimmy Bean race up the field around those tackles. Doing other things, getting rid of the ball quicker. They're running the ball, slowing that pass rush down, and giving Taylor Reed some time.
Great pursuit there, straight up the gut. Seth Jacobs, Will linebacker number 10 on the tackle, a loss of 4. He's a young man out of California. Most of the recruiting for Oklahoma State, as you might imagine, comes from nearby in Oklahoma and, of course, the state of Texas. Every now and then they'll go out, pluck some kids from other parts of the country, particularly on offense. Blitz coming, and the pass should have been there. I mean, that was all wide open for Matty Aha.
And I'm not sure what Matty Aha was looking at or was expecting to get hit, but he's wide open, and whether he didn't see the ball, he's looking at the defender right there, trying to worry about the hit more than the catch, and that's a ball that should have been caught. The defender was nowhere near him.
Crowd comes alive on 3rd and 14. Just a 3-man rush. Reed feels the pressure, tucks it and runs, and he'll be short. Picked up about 10, 11 yards, but he needed the 42. He got the 45.
Yeah, I think you go for it here for Central Arkansas. You're on their side of the 50, their 45-yard line, 3 yards. Looks like they're going to punt it away, though.
Spencer back on the punt. McCluskey, the deep man, back for Oklahoma State. And a penalty flag all the way back where...
The red game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
That doesn't kill you based on where you are in the field, but that's the 3rd delay of game penalty on Central Arkansas.
Will the clock operator please reset the clock?
It doesn't hurt him here, like you said, but it just shows that was the 3rd one of the game. It just shows you that something, I don't know if they took that one on purpose or not, but you shouldn't have 3 delay of game penalties in the first half.
Rugby style bounce at the 17. McCleskey takes it. And he's fearless. And then he lost it. No, he was down. He was down. A 38-yard punt. 4 yards on the return. As we send it to Jenny Taft in LA for a Fox College football game break.
Mike, thanks. The Lamar Cardinals surprisingly have the lead over the 4th-ranked Baylor Bears until this. Seth Russell finds Corey Coleman for the 21-yard touchdown reception, their second hookup of the day. Baylor adds the 2-point conversion to take the 21-14 lead in the second. Mike, JC?
Jenny, thank you so much. Boy,
Yeah.
I don't know if anything's going to shock anybody, any situation anymore after what we almost saw today with Jacksonville State nearly upsetting a top 10 Auburn team. Pass caught over the middle by the tight end Seaton. That's his second grab.
Number 44, Jeremy Seaton for the Cowboys.
Last week you had Washington State falling to Portland State. We had a couple of FCS upsets over Power 5 schools. Kansas, another victim. Second and short. And dropped by Washington.
Pass is incomplete, intended on the right side for 28.
I tell you, the things that Coach Gundy talked to us about yesterday, you know, they're showing up again in the first half, aren't they? You know, drop passes, overthrows, you know, some communication errors where they're letting guys free and not blocking them, and they just haven't found their rhythm yet offensively.
That's a good way to describe it. Not much rhythm at all. This guy's had plenty of rhythm. Chris Carson, every time he touches it, something good seems to happen. But the passing game, once again, has been erratic.
Yeah, that's why I think they should feature Chris Carson. You know, like I said earlier, I know that they're a passing team and that's their MO and what they're known for. I think you feed this guy first and let him run and then work the passing game off of him. Look at him. Overthrow.
That's another one.
Should be complete. I mean, that's an easy throw. You're on this hash. You're throwing to the short side of the field, and the ball just gets away from it. The receiver's open.
Second down and 10 following the incompletion.
Five in the pattern for Rudolph, and that one is on target to the far side. Aitman. Marcel Aitman, a 6'4" junior from Dallas, Texas.
And that was a great throw. You're throwing it to the far side of the field, to the out, and it's right on the money. So, you know, just need to be more consistent.
A quick pass here, and Carson has nowhere to go. George Odom read that one all the way in white. A loss of 6.
And for Central Arkansas, they're doing exactly what they said they wanted to do, was tackle better. I mean, they've tackled very well here in this first half, and they wanted to keep the ball in front of them. They've been able to do that. Haven't given up the big ball over the top as of yet, so they're executing their game plan to perfection.
On second down, coming out of the backfield, that's Rennie Childs. Gundy telling us he really wanted to get more touches for number 23. He gets one there. 10-yard pickup sets up third down. And about 6.
Not in too big of a hurry.
Oklahoma State calls their first charge timeout, 36.
With a minute 44. First timeout called by Oklahoma State. Don't forget, coming up, the Fox College football halftime show. Plenty of Big 12 highlights. Auburn receives a major scare from Jacksonville State. And Notre Dame and Ohio State discussion ready to take place. How good are the Fighting Irish after their battle today with Virginia? Ohio State, not much of a test with Hawaii, who traveled about 9,000 miles to get a friendly trip to the woodshed. Been a wacky start to the college football season. A lot of teams we thought would be great have not looked great. We've seen stunning upsets already. I'm still trying to make sense out of everything, JC. I need some more data to feel good about some teams.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, That's what makes college football so great. But, you know, when you have on the schedule and you're a smaller team and you know you're going to play a big team, that motivates you all summer, all spring, because you know that, hey, we get a chance to play the big guys, and they're stepping up to the plate.
3rd and 6, little crossing pattern caught by Washington, but a great tackle by Tyler Williams in the open field to stop him short. Mike Gundy, are you going to roll the dice here in your own territory?
I'd punt this one away and be safe here. No use giving Central Arkansas the ball here. I think that's what they're going to do. Just let the clock run down and then punt it away.
Play clock down to 5. And timeout called with 1 second left on the play clock. 59 seconds on the game clock. Another look at the 3rd down play and the great open field tackle.
Yeah, Tyler Williams right here. You see him just trailing right here, but great job right there. It's man-to-man coverage, so you've got your guy everywhere, all over the field, and he's able to make that tackle and hold him to 4th down. That's a good play.
Williams out of Norcross, Georgia, not too far from Atlanta. Great area for high school football talent to recruit. Central Arkansas in the Southland Conference, the FCS level. Most famous alum, got to be Scottie Pippen. So we got the Fighting Pippins versus the Fighting Pokes tonight.
Scottie Pippen.
Signer out to punt it. Brandon Cox will receive. High spiraling kick. And perfectly placed inside the 10. Nice job by the redshirt freshman. They are legends, icons, and warriors. And starting next month, 2 of the biggest names in the UFC will face off as coaches as interim featherweight champion Conor McGregor and Uriah Faber join an all-new season of The Ultimate Fighter. The mayhem continues Wednesday only on Fox Sports 1. Last drive for the Bears, 8 plays, 42 yards. The problem has not been moving the football. The problem has been putting points on the board, which is very similar to what they had happen last week. JC, 103 plays, but just 16 points.
Yeah, and they're just going to be content with going into the locker room here down 10-0.
And they'll have to take one more knee to bleed the clock to 0 here.
But again, and for Central Arkansas, you're down 10-0. I mean, you're feeling pretty good about that, because I think everyone thought that they'd be down big by this point, but they're still in this game.
No filler material necessary in half number 1. The Bears came to play. Oklahoma State looking to improve in half number 2. Just 10 points surrendered by the Bears defense. We'll see if the Cowboys can turn it up a notch in the second half. 10-0 our halftime score. Oklahoma State trying to improve to 2-0 after defeating the Chippewas of Central Michigan last week. As we send it down to Steffi Sorensen.
Coach, scored 10-0. What stood out the most to you?
Well, we're not throwing the ball very well. Our quarterbacks missed 4 or 5 balls and set us behind the chains. Defensively, we were playing good, and we're doing a good job in the special teams. But we got to throw the ball better.
What do you think Mason Rudolph has to do to throw the ball better?
Well, I'm not sure, but he just needs to hit those passes. When we throw those balls on first down, they're easy throws. We got to hit them.
Thank you, Coach. Mike.
Thank you, Steffi. Again, our score at the half, 10-0. Oklahoma State leading Central Arkansas. Coming up next, we'll go to Los Angeles for the Fox College Football Halftime Show with Rob Stone, Matt Leinart, and Dave Wannstedt. surprising score here in Stillwater. It's Oklahoma State leading it, but just by a score of 10-0 over the Bears of Central Arkansas. Mike Morgan, J.C. Pearson with you here in Stillwater. J.C., we were kind of expecting an air show of sorts from Mason Rudolph and company of Oklahoma State, but instead, Chris Carson has stolen the show.
Well, I think he's been the brightest spot for Oklahoma State in the first half. Seems as though every time he got the ball, he made something happen. They need to give him the ball more, but you can see the ability that he has. He's got speed. He's got quickness. He can get outside. He's got power where he can get up the field and run through guys. We saw him jump over a guy, and then here on the 21-yard touchdown that got him going early. Chris Carson is a guy that, to me, that's got to get the ball a lot more in the second half.
As you take a look at the halftime stats, the one that stands out perhaps is at the bottom. Time of possession, it's Central Arkansas leading the way.
Yeah, it is surprising because you can see that there's a big disparity in terms of numbers there in Oklahoma State's favor, but they haven't really been able to convert a lot of those into points. Only 10 points for Central Arkansas. Not a lot of yards, not a lot of passing yards, but they seem to get into a bit of a rhythm in the late in the second quarter. So we'll see what happens the rest of this game, but Central Arkansas has got to feel good about where they are right now, only being down 10-0.
And standing by with the head coach of Central Arkansas, Coach Campbell, is our own Steffi Sorensen.
Coach Campbell, your team only down by 10 points. What was the message to your guys in the half?
That we're close. We're this close. That we're a couple of plays away. Offensively, we left a couple of plays out there. Defense, we're really playing hard. The ball's been on the ground a couple of times. We've had a chance to get it. If we can make a couple of more of those plays defensively to set us up or possibly scoop and score offensively, we've had opportunities. We just hadn't capitalized yet. We got to capitalize in the second half.
How about those penalties and being able to clean up those effectively?
Yeah. We've made some improvement. I don't know what our stats were in the first half penalty-wise, but we don't need to have any in the second half. You know, all the little things that you got to do in order to beat a team like this, we got to do in the second half.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach. Mike?
Steffi, thanks. And obviously, when you're down 10 points, you're never ecstatic as a head coach. Steve Campbell's talking about some of the things they need to work on, but you got to be happy overall. Let's face it, Oklahoma State a heavy favorite in this game, only up by 10 points at the half. Mason Rudolph, a pedestrian first half, let's call it. 16 of 26, 207. No TD passes, one INT, and JC, just accuracy was really the thing he struggled with the most.
Yeah, big time. He overthrew a lot of balls and left a lot of yards out there. And I'm sure that's something that they've discussed at halftime. And, you know, J.W. Walsh is a guy that they really like also. And I think if Mason continues to struggle, we might see J.W. Walsh a little bit, or they just go to the running game and feature Chris Carson, like I've been saying that they probably should, just to find that rhythm. But Mason Rudolph is definitely has to play better here in this second half.
This is interesting. I think everybody was confused which side of the field they were supposed to be on. This looks like a fire drill, so both teams changing sides. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, me.
That was entertaining, to say the least. So now everybody's on the right side of the field. That's always a good way to start the second half. The Bears of Central Arkansas will get it first. Dangerous return man Jatavius Wilson. He of the 3 career kickoff returns for touchdowns will be back deep to receive. It's the home opener for Oklahoma State here at Boone Pickens Stadium. Beautiful night, great crowd, great facilities. We'll see if we have a great second half, which will start on the 25-yard line for Central Arkansas. The Bears offense will go back to work, led by the quarterback Taylor Reed. Last week, again, 103 plays, but just 312 yards and just 16 points. Taylor Reed, 6 out of 12 for 45 yards. Really, their best plays came on the ground. Dominic Thomas had a solid first half rushing the football. You see what Taylor Reed did last week. Well, he threw it a bunch. He completed a school record 43 passes. He threw 63. That's the second highest total, but no touchdown passes. And that's kind of similar to where we are now. The Bears have played well, but they have no touchdowns.
Yeah, got to make some big plays somewhere along the line.
That somebody just delivered a lick as Taylor Reed got lit up by Seth Jacobs, the outside linebacker. A loss of 1 on the play.
So Taylor Reed just going to keep it on that zone read. Seth Jacobs just squares him up right there and just hits him dead in the chest and sends him backwards.
A loss of 1, 2nd down, 11. Reed, the lefty, scrambling and will avoid the sack, but not much more. Stumbles forward for about 4 yards. This Oklahoma State defense so incredibly fast, so deep. They're pretty stout up the middle too. We haven't talked about it much, but Mote Miley, number 56, he helps plug that middle. A 6'4", 305-pound defensive tackle. They rush 4 here. The pass is complete, but that will be short of the marker. Desmond Smith on the reception got 7. He needed 8.
Yeah, and that's one of those situations where you have to understand where the marker is. You gotta know where the first down is and get to it. It does you no good to curl up a yard short of the first down marker, and now it's 4th down.
It's got to drive a coach and a quarterback crazy when a receiver does that to you.
You gotta understand the situations and where you are.
Spencer's been a busy man punting the football. Booms this one back to the 22 and getting smoked on the play with a penalty flag falling. That was McCleskey, who probably would have been better served and just called for a fair catch. Those are the kind of hits that just make you cringe.
Yeah. Good thing everybody got up from that and no one got hurt, because those are the kind that easily can get hurt from.
It was a 44-yard punt, and the moment McCleskey touched it, he got pounded. Now, I didn't see a fair catch signal, did you?
Kick catch interference.
Okay.
Kicking team, number 2. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
That would be on Martavis Moore. I certainly doesn't mean it didn't happen. I just didn't notice it. Again, we're not going to see it from that angle.
Yeah, that right there, I don't know about that one, really. I mean, when he caught the ball, look how far he is away from the return guy. That's a good 2-3 yards away. I mean, and the ball is going to the ground.
Right. That's a tough call.
Yeah, I mean, interference is when you're within that halo, and he was nowhere near that halo.
Meanwhile, one of the few times Chris Carson has been dropped for a loss. A loss of 6 yards. Ricky Wyatt, 43, has been all over the field tonight. A senior linebacker out of Monroe, Louisiana.
Yeah, he's made some good plays. A number of them for losses as well as that one was. But Ricky Wyatt's done a good job so far in this game of being aggressive, coming downhill, and making good short tackles.
Mike Gundy will not be pleased with this number. That's the 7th tackle for loss by the Bears defense. Rudolph, pump and go, has a man wide open at midfield. Down the sideline, breaking tackles, Glidden at the 10, Glidden into the end zone, touchdown, 67 yards.
That's how you want to come out and start. And you can watch Glidden in the slot right here, and they just run the corner off, and Glidden is wide open. And now from here, it's all Glidden. Watch him break a couple tackles right there. Terrible tackling right there, and then just runs away from everybody else. But just a great call right there. Great scheme to get Glidden open, and then the rest was all him.
David Glidden, a 5th-year senior out of Mustang, Oklahoma. He led the team with 42 receptions a year ago. He produces the biggest play of the night for the Cowboys. 17-0 our score. Now, Oklahoma State has been waiting for the big pass play in this game. They finally got it with 12:23 to go. A 67-yarder to the senior, David Glidden.
Yeah, you give Glidden a lot of credit on this play. But for Central Arkansas, just terrible tackling. You can see right there a whiff by number 23 here. And then look at the shoulder tackle here by Spurlock. You got to wrap the guy up and take him to the ground. Just terrible tackling right there. Take another look at it. Winfrey just olays him right there. Number 23 doesn't even give an effort. And then 41 with just the shoulder tackle. You got to wrap the guy up and take him to the ground. And now you live to play another play. But instead, terrible efforts there. And Glidden is able to take that ball all the way to the house.
I'm not sure what 41 was doing. Devin Spurlock, my goodness.
Or 23. Just olay, let him go by. I know they're going to get an earful when they get into film sessions tomorrow.
It's the longest touchdown reception of David Glidden's career, 67 yards. Young man who they kind of liken to their own Wes Welker, built out of the same mold. 5'8", not a big guy, but hard to cover and very reliable. You see the numbers a year ago, 42 grabs, 598 yards. This could be, once they get Rudolph on track, a historic season for David Glidden. I mean, he could certainly have the best year of his career.
Absolutely. And what did Coach Gundy say about him? He said when you watch us practice and you see him, you don't think that he should be playing.
Right.
You know, when you see these other guys out here 6'4", running 4'3", 4'4", but he said Glidden's always in the right place, knows what to do, can get open, and that's why he makes all the plays that he makes.
Bears trying to make some plays on the ground here with Dominic Thomas. Guts out a couple. He set up second down and 8. That play put a little life in the crowd here. It's been kind of quiet. They haven't been inspired by much. Oklahoma State offensively has been rather stagnant. I'll tell you what, though, that Cowboy defense has been stout. Another big hit. Blake Gardner took the lick.
And look who makes the tackle. Agba out on the edge, running down the jet sweep, and makes the tackle outside.
Mike Gundy just raves when he talks about that kid. First generation Nigerian family. Came to the States. There's another hit in the backfield for a loss. A 3-and-out. Great job by the Oklahoma State defense. Ramon Richards, a third-string defensive back, makes the play.
Yeah, you know, you see all these guys, they want to make the big blow-up tackle with the shoulder tackle, and that's what got Spurlock in trouble for Central Arkansas. And this time you see that Ramon Richards comes in, wants that big hit, but he wraps up. At least he holds on and is able to make the tackle.
Oklahoma State holding the Bears now to 1 of 10 on third down. They're sending it, and almost a block. McCleskey, who took a shot on the last one, will let this one bounce, and it'll roll dead at about the 23-yard line. Oklahoma State showing some defense tonight, laying the lumber. Linemen, linebackers, secondary guys all getting in on the fun. 17-0 our score. It's Oklahoma State 17, Central Arkansas nothing, as we go to Jenny Taft in LA for a Fox College football game break.
Well, Mike, a little too close for comfort between the 4th-ranked Baylor Bears and Lamar. How about Shock Linwood, who punches this in at the end of the half for the 13-yard run for the touchdown? Baylor heads to the locker room up 35-21 at halftime. Mike?
Wow, thank you much. Lamar, one of those, again, those small schools in-state game, right? Much like Jacksonville State was against Auburn today. A lot of those kids were overlooked in the recruiting process. They get fired up as we take a look at the last punt here.
Yeah, and see, I think they do run into the kicker right here. Such a late call, though. I don't know why the flag didn't come out. You can see he hit his foot right there. It's only going to be the 5-yard variety, though. Now they bring the ball back.
Arkansas has elected to accept the 5-yard foul for running into the kicker by number 15. Will enforce 5 yards from the previous spot and repeat 4th down.
So they're actually going to go for it now.
Yeah.
They were going to decline the penalty because it's still 4th down, but it's 4th and a yard from their own 34-yard line.
Wow.
Reed hands it off. Up the middle. Thomas, I believe he's got it.
Yeah.
Across the 35.
What a gutsy call it was right there, right? 4th and 1, your own 30-yard line, essentially.
How about this? The Bears this year on 4th down, 3 of 4. Coach Campbell got some 4th down magic going this year. Throwing it as he gets pummeled was Reed into the waiting hands of the tight end Justin Dickey. And that'll go for 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7. Play action. Missiles one over the middle, complete. Jadavius Wilson.
Good grab by Jadavius Wilson. Just plucks that ball out of the air. Kept him from running into that safety or that inside backer that was in there. Good quick throw and good grab.
12 yards and a 1st down. Reed. Pocket collapses. He'll go down. Another sack for Oklahoma State. This time it's Jimmy Bean.
Yeah, and this is where Central Arkansas gets into trouble when they just try to be one-dimensional, pass the ball, and now their quarterback is a sitting duck back there for these defensive ends. Jimmy Bean just beats Kyle Stauffer that time, the right tackle, just runs right around him and gets the sack. This is when they struggle. They've got to mix in the run and the play action to slow those guys down.
A jet sweep here to Wilson. Not much. Jordan Stearns, who last year led this team with 103 tackles, in on another stop here. I like this Oklahoma State defense. I think they can do some damage in conference play.
Yeah, they are fast, they're deep, they're aggressive. And with those two ends, Agba and Jimmy Bean, they can get to the quarterback. I mean, that's the name of the game right now. Get to the quarterback and be able to play man-to-man on the outside, and they've got the guys to do all of those things.
9th play of the drive, 3rd and 13. Reed running for his life, throws it up for grabs and almost caught. A penalty flag is down on the near side of the field, away from all the action. Jimmy Bean applying the pressure on Taylor Reed.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 2. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
That's on Darius Curry, a backup cornerback.
On the opposite side of the field. Watch him playing man-to-man at the bottom of the screen. Just gets his hands up right there and in the face mask. Just can't get it out in time. But that's what happens sometimes when you're up there and bump and run. You're trying to get your hands on guys. Sometimes it gets high.
Look at this razzle-dazzle. Deep ball in zone, has a man, touchdown! Desmond Smith from 39. Back up!
Well, we knew that they had to do something to try to generate some big plays, and we asked Coach Campbell about it during the week. Any gadgets, any kind of trick plays to try to make some things happen, and he said they had some things in their works, in their pocket, and we just saw one of them right there. Pulled it out at the exact right time and got a touchdown out of it.
And now an offset formation here, 2-point conversion, got it! Wow, Steve Campbell plucking everything out of the bag of tricks.
Hey, where's all that been, huh?
I don't know.
There you go. That's how we expected them to come out and play. And it all goes back to, Mike, remember that 4th down play where they went for it on 4th down and 1, converted it, and then able to go down and score.
In their own territory, no less. A 4th and a yard, they get it. Then a little razzle-dazzle. How about a reverse? Back to the quarterback. Deep ball. Smith, 6 points, and then the 2-point conversion to a 3rd-string tight end. 17. Maybe the most exciting drive of the game. Central Arkansas going for it on 4th down, scoring on a razzle-dazzle play, and then a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, and watch Zach Gogler going to fake like he's going to block, and it's a run play, but oh no, he just leaks right into the end zone, and just a quick pass and an easy pass for a 2-point conversion.
We have a depth chart that has 3 players at every position. Zach Gogler wasn't on it. Here's a big return for Jeff Carr. Jeff Carr gets a key block at the 40, cuts it back at the 45, penalty flag down, so is the football, recovered by one of the trail men for Oklahoma State. This will likely be backed up after a tremendous return from Jeff Carr. Blake Jarwin recovering the fumble for Oklahoma State.
There is no foul on the play for a low block, 1st and 10.
Okay. I would like an explanation on that one too if I'm Coach Campbell.
See, just a left return all the way, setting it up, and that's right there what they were calling a low block, but it actually wasn't a block. That's a defender trying to make a play right there and just takes that blocker out.
A great return, 52 yards. Cowboys in plus territory to start the drive. On play action, Rudolph has time, delivers deep downfield, caught, 5, touchdown, McCleskey.
Okay. They're like, okay, you want to play like that? Then we're going downfield too, huh? Flag on the play, though. Coming, it looks like it might be coming back. Yep.
Are they going to let us in on the call?
You think they might want to let us know what it was?
They know we got.
I know it's a holding, but they still got to make the call and announce it, let everyone know.
Maybe a number, perhaps. Reggie Smith going to keep this one a clandestine mission. On 1st and extremely long, firing through the outside is Childs. 40, 30, and escorted out of bounds at the 22-yard line by George Odom. Back-to-back huge plays. This one will stand 35 yards.
Yeah, but you got to contain the ball, Mike. You can't let the ball get outside, and the left corner up there gets blocked down inside, and the running back just runs right around him. You got to stay outside, force him to cut back inside to the pursuit.
It gave him the edge, and he paid dearly.
And he took it in a hurry.
1st and 10. They'll stay into the ground. Childs again, not this time. Stopped, popped, and dragged backwards by Garrett Sharp, the linebacker.
Garrett Sharp.
Carson now into the game at tailback on 2nd down and long. Ball spotted at the 22 of the Bears. Play action, Rudolph coming back and making the grab. It is a catch. His knee hit the ground. A 9-yard pickup for Juwan Seals.
Again, another one of those passes where you got to get the ball up. Keep it up and give your receiver an opportunity to catch it and make a play after the catch. That time Seals had to go down to catch that ball and was on a knee, so he was down as soon as he caught the ball.
For the 2nd time tonight, J.W. Walsh is in the game, the 5th-year senior, former starting quarterback, now backup. Young man who could have transferred anywhere. A lot of teams wanted him. He decided to stay here, play his role. His role here is to run. And he will not get to the 10, just shy of it, but he will have the 1st down. Bobby Watkins on the tackle. J.J. Walsh out of Denton, Texas, wants to be a coach. He's a coach's son. They'll stay in the game out of the shotgun here. Carson, the deep back. They feed him. Carson can't go anywhere. Bottled up near the line. Great defense there by Central Arkansas, and Garrett Sharp another tackle.
Yeah, it really was. Did a good job at the point of attack. Those down linemen not giving up any ground and allowing Sharp just to come and make that tackle.
Now they go back to Mason Rudolph. What will likely be a passing situation here. They can't get another first down incidentally at the 1-yard line. 2nd and 10 from the 11. Rudolph surveys, fires over the middle, caught at the 1. At the 1-yard line, Marcel Aikman, who had a touchdown reception last week, just shy of it tonight. First and goal, quickly setting up, gets the snap, handoff, and nothing doing for Chris Carson, knocked backwards.
Yeah, it's been tough inside to run the ball this half for Oklahoma State.
Another tackle for Ricky Wyatt.
Here comes Walsh again, I believe.
These boys from the Southland Conference saying we're not going to be just pushed around out here.
Yeah, and to think that they lost last week to Samford.
Yeah.
Completely different team here today.
Walsh back in out of the shotgun on 2nd down. Fakes the handoff, keeps it, or no, he did hand it off. Doesn't matter. Either way, no progress for Rennie Childs.
Wow.
They get no push from the line right now.
And that's one thing that Coach Gundy talked to us about this offensive line is they've got to move people.
Right.
They just can't stalemate at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack. They've got to start driving people out of there, creating lanes and creating creases. Well, they haven't done that. And right now they're getting stoned and they're not moving anybody anywhere.
That was a loss of 2 on the play. Now it's 3rd and goal, and we're all the way back at the 5-yard line. Rudolph back in the game. Shotgun 4 wide. Rudolph looks over the middle and incomplete. A little behind Jawan Seals. That's another ball. If it's properly placed, catch is made, easy score.
It's wide open. Just rush the throw. And this is an easy throw. Watch Seals up top. Is going to come in the slant right here. He's wide open. Just get him the ball, but just kind of rushed it again and tried to throw it a little too hard and kind of got away from it.
So the drive stalls inside the 5. Grogan on a chip shot from 22. And he hammers it home to put the Cowboys back on top by 12. Good drive overall. Rennie Childs with a huge run, gets to the edge, puts on the afterburners, and sets up the field goal. Fox College football is presented by OK Career Tech, creating a job for every Oklahoman and a workforce for every company. Visit okcareertech.org. By Mercy, your life is our life's work. And by OG&E, power at the speed of life. Mike Morgan, J.C. Pearson, Steffi Sorensen, and our entire terrific Fox Sports crew here from Stillwater Boone Pickens Stadium. On a Saturday night, the Cowboys trying to improve to 2-0. Marching down the field on the last drive, but the drive stalled inside the 10. Had to settle for 3 points. Central Arkansas has shown up to play. They have been impressive on defense. They've showed some sparks on offense, and they've kept this a ball game as we still have over 18 minutes to go, and this one is very much in doubt up to this point. From the goal line, Wilson finds a seam. Wilson past the 30, across the 35, and shoved out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. Jatavius Wilson, a dangerous return man, making another fine play.
Well, we'll see what else the Central Arkansas has in their bag of tricks, huh? They worked the last drive, and might as well keep bringing them out and see what happens.
Yeah, we saw the reverse quarterback deep throw for a touchdown. We saw a two-point conversion on a funky formation and a toss to a third-string tight end. On first down here, they fake the quarterback rolling out, instead go to Dominic Thomas, who's had a solid game, and he'll gobble up 4 or 5 yards here.
And what it also does, Mike, is it makes the defense have to think and be a little cautious. So now your other plays have a better chance of working too, because the defense is not as aggressive.
Quick snap to the edge on the near side. That's Brandon Cox, and he'll have a first down after a gain of 6. Awfully impressed by what Steve Campbell and his coaching staff have put together tonight. From the 49, blitz coming. Quick toss, far side. Making one man miss is Brandon Cox before he picks up 2. And then goes out of bounds. Trey Flowers, a sophomore from Converse, Texas, there to meet him.
Oklahoma State brings that corner blitz that time. Rod Richards off that left corner. It's a good thing that Central Arkansas was going to the other side of the field and just barely got that ball off.
Bears in plus territory. Reed looking down the sideline. Great coverage there, though. Kevin Peterson, the anchor of the secondary, making his 25th career start, had McMillan covered step for step.
Yeah, and you see what he did there, Mike, is he used his body position. He didn't just let the receiver run right next to him. He cut the receiver off, and now the receiver can't go by him. And now there's nowhere to go. There's no pass interference. There's no contact. There's no anything. Great job by Kevin Peterson using his body positioning.
Third down and 7. And penalty flags drop.
False start. Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
That's on the left tackle, Lance Cloker, who's had his work cut out for him tonight, trying to block Emmanuel Ogbah, one of the top rush ends in college football.
I'm surprised that's the first one he's got.
Yeah.
The way that Ogbah's been going around him, I'm surprised that's the first.
Might not be the last. Now it's third down and 12. Reed again forced to step up in the pocket. Completes it. 45. And down to the 40 is Beasley, breaking tackles, banging his way to a first down.
That's a big period by Beasley.
Sanford must be a really good football team. That's all I can say.
So you're saying they're better than Oklahoma State? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm trying to figure out how this Central Arkansas team got throttled by Sanford.
Right. I mean, it's a completely different team here today.
Ogbah was in hot pursuit on that play, forcing a quick throw from Taylor Reed. I got to give credit to Taylor Reed tonight, because even when he has completed balls, he doesn't have much time to get the ball out. He's running for his life.
Yeah, having to throw on the move, and that last completion did a great job of stepping up in the pocket, getting away from the pressure, but still keeping his eyes down the field and able to make a completion.
Reed out of El Dorado, Arkansas, former Arkansas Razorback. Handoff up the middle. And good strong running by Blake Beasley. And it's 6. Third down and 4. Bears are 5 of 12 on third down. Reed going to tuck it and run. Not this time. Ogbah catches him from behind. It'll be a 4th and short. They'll probably go.
If you go for 4th and 1 on your own 30, it was 4th and 2 on their 32, right?
Right. It'd be a 49-yard field goal. That might be a tall order.
Yeah, doesn't really do them much good to still be down 9 points.
They will talk about it. A timeout here.
Timeout.
The Bears are 2 of 2 on 4th down tonight.
30 seconds.
You know, if they go ahead and kick the field goal, they're still 2 scores down.
While we have a moment, let's go to Jenny Taft in L.A. for a Fox College football game break.
Well, a thrilling end to a top 25 matchup. Number 19, Oklahoma at number 23, Tennessee in double overtime. Volunteers QB Joshua Dobbs picked off by Zach Sanchez, and the Sooners with a comeback win, 31-24. It only took 2 overtimes to do it.
Jenny, thank you much. We have not had a chance to see how that game changed dramatically. When we were seeing scores, Tennessee was up a couple of touchdowns. They were dominating that football game. Give Bob Stoops and company credit for the comeback. 4th down and 2 for the Bears. Reed gets the snap, hands it off, and not this time for Beasley. Stacked up by Oklahoma State.
Wow.
That defensive line for Oklahoma State won the battle this time.
Yeah, and they run the ball on 4th and 2, and you can see they just don't get out there quick enough to seal the edge. Justin Dickey, number 89, is a little too hesitant, and that allowed the defender just to jump inside of him and make the tackle. You got to be aggressive in those situations and go attack the defender.
Nice job by Jordan Burton, Sam linebacker, to get pursuit on that play and help on the tackle. So the Bears turn it over on downs. Little flip here to Jeff Carr. And he'll be dropped for a loss. Carr, a true freshman from Temple, Texas.
And look at the guy who actually made that play. Ricky Wyatt is the guy who missed the tackle, but he's the guy deep in the backfield and disrupted the entire play, allowed everyone else to get there.
On 2nd and 13, Rudolph launching deep down the sideline. Penalty flag, incomplete, but we'll see what the flag is. Might be interference on Tyler Williams. He's saying it's offensive.
No, Tyler Williams never found the ball.
Pass interference, defense number 9. 15-yard penalty and automatic first down.
Yeah, never look back for the ball. In great position. Right here, great position, but he's got to turn around and play the ball.
The rolling on the field of an incomplete pass is under further review.
Wow, looks like a catch too, huh? Got his right foot come down inbounds right there. Maintains possession. That's a catch also. Go back to Tyler Williams. He's in great position. He's got to turn around and play the football, and you can have incidental contact if you're playing the ball also. And can't get in much better position. Just didn't find the ball. You see him right here. Yeah.
Now watch the elbow hit. Just make sure that the ball doesn't touch.
Right foot's down. Ball moves, but you can have possession, and the ball can hit the ground if you're in possession of it. I don't think it moves out of there, and he rolls and brings it to his body. To me, that looks like a good catch. Ball down. He's got possession right there, and I don't know. From that angle, it looked like that ball might have bounced a little bit, right?
Yeah.
From here, it looks like it might have bounced, but not much. He still has his hand on top of the ball, though. To me, I'm saying that's a good catch.
Now that angle looks good. On the previous angle, kind of makes you wonder. One thing I've learned over the last few years, the way they've become so specific on what you have to do on a play like this for it to be deemed a catch. So often the officials on replay are, it's almost as if they're trying to find something to take the catch away.
Right, absolutely.
See a look at the head referee tonight. That's Reggie Smith. They're checking it upstairs on the DV Sports system, very much like you folks probably enjoy at home with your DVRs. You can put it down frame by frame in slow motion.
You might say, why? What's the big deal? Is it's either 15 yards or the catch.
After further review, the receiver came down inbounds with his right foot. It is a catch. First down and 10
Good.
from the 31-yard line at the far hash.
There you go.
The
You
clock
got it
will
right.
start
Yeah.
on the ready for play. The pass interference by defense number 9 is declined. Result of the play, first down.
Nice job by the officiating crew, and that'll go as a 40-yard gain as opposed to the 15. So it's a big call.
As opposed to in the NFL, pass interference is a spot foul,
Right.
so it really wouldn't have mattered. But here in the college game,
This
pass
is the
interference
end
is
of the third quarter.
And that is
only
how
a
the
15-yard penalty. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a 25 extra yards for Oklahoma State. They are on the move. 15 minutes to play in Stillwater. We still got ourselves a game, folks. 20-8 our score. Cowboys on top. A 12-point lead for Oklahoma State as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Time now for our Mattress Firm all-access update coming up in just a moment as Rudolph sits in the pocket, fires complete. Penalty flag on the play. A touchdown if it stands to David Glidden, but the flag is all the way back behind the line of scrimmage.
He had all day to throw, and that's probably why.
Oh, now they're saying it might be on Central Arkansas.
Personal foul, hands to the face, defense, number 98. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the succeeding kickoff. Try for point, touchdown.
Wow, well then give this offensive line a lot of credit because Mason Rudolph had a lot of time to stand in that pocket and allow Glidden time to get all the way down the field. I mean, no pressure on him at all. Glidden runs that corner route. Great effort at the end to get that into the end zone.
Second big touchdown reception for David Glidden. And Mason Rudolph, who at times has been shaky with his accuracy, working on a career day in terms of yardage. Now 360 yards on the night.
Yeah, he's been much better in the second half, especially on the deep balls.
Grogan for the PAT. Blocked. Well, the Cowboys will have to settle for 6. David Glidden, you saw him smiling. You see him lunging for his second touchdown of the night. Oklahoma State up big. 26-8 our score. Oklahoma State on top with 14:53 to go. As it is now time for our Mattress Firm all-access update. Mason Rudolph, as I mentioned, going to break a career-high 360 yards now, 22 of 33, 2 touchdowns. He's completed 10 of his last 11 passes for 2 touchdowns and 172 yards. So he has heated up, and as he has heated up, so too has the Oklahoma State offense, which sputtered around for the better part of the first half and a little bit of the third quarter. Now heating up in the nick of time. Rudolph, a guy who Mike Gundy raves about. Talked about his grit, his toughness. He's got the size at 6'4". He's got the arm. He's got toughness. His father was a college football player at North Carolina. His mother was a great athlete at Liberty College, located in the state of Virginia. She was a track star at Liberty, so he's got great bloodlines, and again, somewhat overlooked coming out of high school out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. That's in Clemson and South Carolina Gamecock territory. Neither one of those schools offered him a scholarship. He wound up coming to Stillwater, and he feels like he's still got something to prove.
Yeah, I'm sure, and he's also mentally tough, along with all those other things, because the struggles that he had in the first half, especially for a young guy, could have easily gone in the tank, but came out in this second half, and showed how tough he was mentally and has really put together a strong second half.
On first down. Not this time. Wilson wrestled down from behind by Chad Whitener, the former Cal Bear. That'll be a loss of a yard on the play, second down, 11. Reed buys time, tucks it and runs. And Taylor Reed picks up about 7. Averett on the stop for the Cowboys.
Yeah, looked like he might have hurt his hand there on that slide.
Give him 8 yards. I've been impressed by Taylor Reed. The young man's been under pressure basically the whole game. He hasn't missed a whole lot of passes. He's giving you that extra dimension with his running ability. On third down. Pass complete and then knocked out. Incomplete. Great stick by Ashton Lampkin, who's been quiet tonight. Not quiet on that hit.
He's knocked the ball out and everything. Just a great close by Ashton Lampkin. See him, number 6 right here, just reads the route tree, the combination, and just comes up and just lays a big lick on it. The ball comes out. That's the way you want to hit him.
Another punt for Matthew Spencer. And a fair catch by McCleskey at the 26. Oklahoma State's defense swarming tonight. All over Taylor Reed and all over the receiving corps for the Bears. Fox College Football is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price every day. By Ford, the best deals are happening now only at your Oklahoma Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Oklahoma. And by Oklahoma Farm Bureau. We're the same Oklahoma Farm Bureau you have always trusted, now even better. 1st and 10 Cowboys from their 26-yard line. Little razzle-dazzle of their own on the reverse. Finding the edge. It's Shepard. Shepard tight-ropes the sideline and knocked out of bounds at the 40-yard line by Spurlock. A gain of 14.
Looked like that was going to be a huge play at the beginning, but good job by the left corner, just buying some time, making them have to stutter a little bit and allowed the pursuit to get there.
And off to Carson. Tackled by Eric Smith. Chris Carson had a really good first half. Expected to be the Big 12 newcomer of the year. Rudolph over the middle, complete at the 35. Foot race to the 20 and down to the 15. David Glidden has been all over the place, scorching the Bears secondary.
Yeah, they're really having their way now in the secondary, especially with Rudolph being sharp right now, putting the ball where it's supposed to be. They're making big play after big play.
41 more yards for David Glidden. And Rudolph's career night continues. He's got to be around 400. Glidden, meanwhile, 4 catches for 145 yards and the 2 touchdowns. Play action. Rudolph spins out of trouble. Buys time. Throws end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Jarwin, the tight end. Heavy pursuit by DJ Holland, the linebacker.
Yeah, and Mason Rudolph did everything right there until the end. I don't know if you want to make that throw at the end. They easily could have gotten that ball intercepted there. You don't want to just throw it up for grabs at the back of the end zone just because you're under pressure.
Rudolph has thrown for 401. He'll hand it off here to Carson, trying to get to the edge. Can't do it. Drop for a loss. Odom, the first man to hit him. George Odom has been all over the field tonight. It's a loss of 5 yards for Chris Carson.
We haven't seen Chris Carson lose very many yards tonight, so that shows you how good of a play that was by George Odom.
Rennie Childs will give Carson a breather. 11 tackles for loss tonight for the Bears. Draw play here. Look at the quick feet displayed by Rennie Childs. And Childs, I thought he was going down and somehow stayed up and got some more yards.
Hey, fresh legs. They bring Childs in, they run the draw. Got to make sure he's down on the ground. He puts his hand down and keeps going. And man, what a great run that was.
Now you see why Mike Gundy told us we need to get 23 more touches. J.W. Walsh, for the 3rd time tonight, comes in the game in the red zone. This is 4th down of the yard. Walsh throws it. Complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. Jeremy Seaton.
And that right there was a great play call. I thought J.W. Walsh was going to run the ball like he has been doing, but instead he pulls the ball down and just wide open, easy throw to Seaton. And Oklahoma State on the board again.
Extra point is blocked again, the 2nd time tonight. Remember, they missed 2 field goals last week. Now 2 extra points blocked this week. So once again, they'll settle for 6. What a night, though, for David Glidden. 2 touchdown receptions, big play after big play, and then J.W. Walsh with a touchdown pass to Jeremy Seaton. Cowboys lead it big. 10:56 to play, 4th quarter. Back-to-back touchdown drives for Oklahoma State has the Cowboys up by a score of 32-8. A 7-play, 74-yard drive, capped off by the touchdown pass from J.W. Walsh to the tight end, Jeremy Seaton. Mason Rudolph, a career night, over 400 yards through the air. David Glidden has been spectacular from the receiver spot. And the Oklahoma State offense, which sputtered through much of the first half, has heated up here in the 2nd. What do the Bears have left in the tank on offense? We'll find out. They'll start it from their own 19-yard line as we go to Jenny Taft for a Fox College football game break.
Well, Kent State beat Delaware State 45-13, but that's not why we're showing you this. Number 91, April Goss, the 5th-year senior, kicks an extra point, becoming only the 2nd woman to ever score a point in an FBS college football game. A little bit of history for Kent State. Awesome to see as her teammates celebrate carrying her off the field.
How about that?
About that. Good for her.
A little history tonight.
Good for her.
The last time I saw that was in a movie. It was Kathy Ireland, right? It's a Necessary Roughness kicker. Big hole for the Bears. And Dominique Thomas gallops for about 18 yards and a first. Got to give the Bears credit. They're not going to give up here. Backing up, and that time no separation. Desmond Smith was blanketed on the play.
Yeah, you got to give them credit for the effort that they gave today, but now they just need to have some positive things happen. Just be able to execute some plays so that they can go back and see that on film and build from that. They haven't really had a lot of good things happen to them offensively. They've made a few plays, then they sputtered.
Nifty play there by Reed just to get some positive yardage. Wilson grabs it.
Yeah, but they just need to have some positive things happen to them this last 10 minutes of this game, and just something they can go back and build on, feel good about going into next week.
It's interesting. They're in the Southland Conference, as we mentioned. Last week I had Texas Tech versus Sam Houston State. Sam Houston State's predicted to win that league and perhaps even win the FCS championship. They're a powerhouse. As Cowboys show blitz, might have jumped off sides. Could be a free play for Reed. He was running for his life out there.
Offside. Defense number 20. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
Yeah, and that's one of those, Mike, you called it. It's a free play. You know, Taylor Reed, just throw the ball down there. You might get in pass interference down there. Your guy might come up with it, but nothing bad can happen because if they intercept it, they're offsides, right, and it's still your ball. So situation like that, there's no reason to hold that ball and get tackled there. Just throw it up for grabs down the field.
Penalties have been an issue tonight for Oklahoma State. Now it's 3rd and a yard. And not this time. Black jerseys swallowing up Dominique Thomas.
Wow, now it goes to what, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. Much different scenario than 3rd and 1. Well, I mean 4th down. I mean 3 and 4. Yeah, you gotta kick this one away now.
They've gone for it 3 times on 4th down tonight. They're 2 of 3. Still just under 9 minutes to go. They'll punt it away. Spencer back out there. McCleskey back to return. McCleskey waits for the fair catch. And the Cowboys will take over when we come back with 8:40 to play. Oklahoma State leading it 32-8. The Cowboys looking to improve to 2-0 on the season. Time now for our Mercy game summary. A lot of action in the second half here. A little razzle-dazzle reverse and a toss by Taylor Reed, hitting Desmond Smith in the end zone. And a 2-point conversion. Toss to the 3rd-string tight end. Had Oklahoma State back on their heels a little bit, but then it was the David Glidden show. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And then a toss from the backup quarterback, J.W. Walsh, who we've seen on several drives tonight, throwing a touchdown pass. Mason Rudolph, a career night, over 400 yards passing tonight. Really played much better in the second half of this ball game after some battle with accuracy in the first half. J.W. Walsh will come out here to start this drive as Rudolph's night might be over. And Childs gets the carry.
Yeah, you're right. And you see how much more explosive this offense is when the quarterback is clicking, right? Yeah. I mean, the first half, his offense struggled, no rhythm, and he was missing passes. And come out the second half, and right out the gate, he's on target, throwing the ball down the field, perfect spots, and the offense is so much more explosive.
Walsh hands it off again. We asked Mike Gundy point blank, how is J.W. Walsh handling the demotion? Because that's basically what it is. He was a starter. He's the veteran on this team. He lost the job so much to the point where they took the red shirt off of Rudolph as a true freshman to start him over Walsh. And they said, you know, Walsh is the kind of kid that doesn't complain. He could have transferred. He didn't. He's a leader still in practice and on this team and does all the things you want your backup quarterback to do.
Yeah, and what a great team player that is. Says a lot about that young man's character.
Walsh does this very well. In fact, better than the number 1. J.W. Walsh, a strong runner. The senior out of Denton gallops for 15 and a first.
And then on top of that, he knows that he's going to play some, you know, and Coach Gundy wants to get more plays for J.W. Walsh. So as the season goes on, we'll probably see him a lot more, but you know, it's good for him to know that he's still a part of this thing. He's still going to play even though he's not the starter.
On 1st and 10, Walsh wants to throw. Nobody's open. And he'll scamper for a few before tiptoeing out of bounds. Terrence Partee on the pressure, the nose tackle for Central Arkansas. Career high tonight for Rudolph, 23 completions, 401 yards. Those career highs, 2 touchdowns. Now it'll likely be Walsh's show the rest of the way. Rudolph and company will get ready for a battle with UTSA. That's Texas San Antonio next week. And then it's on to conference play. And one of the things I love about the Big 12 that I wish some other leagues would go to, 9 conference games, not 8. 9 conference games. You play everybody in your league to find out who's the best.
Yeah, and they had to modify that a little bit because it hurt them last year.
Yeah.
You know, they had one true champion, and then they had the co-champions and couldn't figure out who the real champion was. So they made some modifications this year. So now when they all play, even if there is a tie, there's a formula for one champion out of that conference.
Walsh gets to the edge, and the first penalty flag flying in. Garrett Sharp was there to push Walsh out of bounds.
Holding offense number 57. 5-yard correction, 10-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
It's Paul Lewis, the right guard for Oklahoma State. I have a feeling someday we will get back to a Big 12 conference championship game, which might solve some of those issues.
Yeah.
We're not there now. Of course, it's 10 teams, not 12. And we don't have the championship game that we used to see in the Big 12 conference.
And some people think that hurts them as well with, you know, the championship games with the other conferences, the SEC and Pac-12. And some people think that may hurt the Big 12 side.
Deep ball knocked away. Good coverage by the Bears secondary. Tremont Smith, who's played a good game tonight, guarding Brandon Shepard. It is going to be a good battle for the Big 12. Of course, everybody's favorite this year, TCU and Baylor. They seem to be the 2 ahead of the pack. The question then becomes who's going to be number 3, number 4. Who's going to be that surprise team in the conference this year? Big win for Oklahoma out of conference at Tennessee earlier today. As it's time now for OG&E play of the game.
How about in the first half when nothing was going well for Oklahoma State? How about Chris Carson with the high jump, not the hurdle, the high jump right over Tremont Smith, and gave this Oklahoma State offense a boost in that first half when they really needed it.
And he's going to have to play huge throughout this year. They know that when they get into conference play, you're not always going to be able to throw for 400 in the Big 12, so you got to get some kind of a ground game. And they've had some good ones come through here in recent years under Coach Mike Gundy. That might be the next guy.
Yeah, and they need it because that's when this offense really was at its best, when it had that balance.
Wilson picks up 5. And Central Arkansas now starting to maybe show a little bit of fatigue. They don't have the same pep in the step that they did early part of this second half. Obviously, Oklahoma State a deeper team, as you would expect, going up against an FCS opponent. Blake Beasley gobbles up 3. Oklahoma State will start off conference play September the 26th at Texas. Still trying to figure out what's going on in Austin. Then Kansas State at home and at West Virginia before the bye week.
And then when you look further down, they've got the big games here. TCU is here, I believe. Baylor's here. Oklahoma is here. And so you look at that, and I'd rather play those big games at home.
They'll have a chance, that Oklahoma game, a chance to beat Oklahoma 2 years in a row if they can pull it off. They had a kind of a miracle comeback in Norman last year, as you see the full schedule. At West Virginia, then the bye, then Kansas, who's got a load of issues right now, at Texas Tech, who picked up another win today against UTEP. Those last 4, though, while they're at home, they're tough. TCU, Baylor, and Oklahoma, all home games, but all very, strong opponents at Iowa State that always can be sneaky. A game in Ames against Paul Rhodes and company. In fact, that's the place that might have stopped Oklahoma State from playing for a national title back in 2011. They lost one game, and that was in double overtime to Iowa State. That's still a very sour memory in these parts. Fair catch, McCleskey.
He talked about the Big 12 and how everyone is favoring TCU and Baylor, and then who's behind them. If Oklahoma State can play like they played the second half, and if Mason Rudolph can be sharp and they can be a big play team, Chris Carson can continue to run and his offensive line comes together. I know it's a lot of ifs, but they're possible that, you know, Oklahoma State can be that third team. Oklahoma is also another possibility, but you know, we've seen TCU, they struggled a little bit week 1, and Baylor a little bit with Lamar today. SMU gave them some trouble early in that game last week, so anything can happen, especially once you get to conference play.
And off on first down. A modest gain for Jeff Carr. The thing I like about Oklahoma State that separates them from a lot of those middle of the pack teams in this conference.
Defense.
I think their defense is much more athletic and deep than so many of the other teams in the middle of the pack or even the lower half of this conference. Love what they have defensively in the way of athleticism and speed. And if Rudolph can keep maturing and putting polish on his game, they could be a scary team this year. Walsh tosses it near side. Catch
on the right side
made by one of the backups. We're going deep on the depth chart now, folks. That'd be Jordan Frazier. They've got one tight end, their third string tight end, Zach Veach. He was one of their starting guards last year. They were really hurting on the offensive line, and that's still going to be a question mark this year.
Yeah. They've got to gel and come together. Got some new guys up there, but now they're just going to milk the clock, run the clock down as far as they can before they have to snap it, and try to use as much game clock up as they can too. Get this game over with.
On third and short, it's going to be a first down for Jeff Carr. While we're on the subject of Big 12 football, next week Fox has you covered with more Big 12 football. Louisiana Tech and Kansas State. What do the Wildcats have this year? That starts at 3 o'clock Eastern. And then at 8, Chad Morris, the new coach of SMU, will take on the Horned Frogs. Gary Patterson and company with TCU. They got that program rolling right now. Trevon Boykin could be a Heisman Trophy candidate. Get your college football fix on Fox next Saturday.
Yeah, the La Tech K-State game, I think that's going to be a pretty good game and a close game. K-State lost their starting quarterback last week, so we'll see how they respond to that.
And you see some more of the foot speed from Jeff Carr, a little water bug at 5'7", $165. Odom on the tackle after a gain of 9. Nice block there by the quarterback, J.W. Walsh. You know he's going to still play hard. And there is David Glidden. Great game. Wes Welker light putting together a performance tonight that he'll remember. On 2nd and 1. One broken tackle and a first down for Rennie Childs. They are legends, icons, and warriors, and starting next month, 2 of the biggest names in the UFC will face off as coaches as interim featherweight champion Conor McGregor and Uriah Faber join an all-new season of The Ultimate Fighter. The mayhem continues Wednesday only on Fox Sports 1. Our spotter, Eric Fiddleman, there's a guy you don't want to get in the octagon with.
Not at all.
He will mess you up in a hurry, boy.
Arm bar, choke you out.
Yes.
Now, the last play, Rennie Childs, great effort. Get that first down. The only thing he did wrong was what? Ran out of bounds and stopped the clock.
Don't need that. He'll take plenty of this, though.
Yeah, there you go.
Big run for Jeff Carr. These are the backup running backs. You see why Coach Gundy loves them. 23 yards for Carr. Carson will be the workhorse, but they got two nice change of pace guys in Carr and Ray Childs. Now the question becomes, if you're the Cowboys, do you keep your foot on the gas, or do you call mercy here?
I don't think they play like that. I think they're all out till it's triple zeros.
Carr on first down. You can get one more off if you want. And it looks like J.W. Walsh going to say, no, that's enough, guys. Let's go ahead and celebrate this one for a while. It'll be a happy night in Stillwater. Oklahoma State. I don't know if I'd go so far as to call it a scare, but they got a concern, if you will, from Central Arkansas, who played very well. Fine performance by the Bears, but Oklahoma State improves to 2-0 with a 32-8 victory here at Boone Pickens Stadium. They'll have a chance to make it 3-0, another out-of-conference foe next week against Texas San Antonio, the Gunslingers. That'll be right back here in Stillwater. And then they'll start off the conference slate on the road in Austin, September the 26th. That'll be against the Texas Longhorns, then Kansas State, and then West Virginia, as we mentioned before, the bye week. Big performances tonight by Mason Rudolph and his top target tonight, David Glidden. 2 touchdown receptions. He was all over the place.
Yeah, he was. Made some big plays right here. Good, strong run to take this all the way to the end zone. But look at it, just finding holes in that offense. I mean, in that defense all night long. And then look at the effort right here to get the ball in the end zone. Had a great night, did David Glidden. 4 catches, 145 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Can't get much better than that.
Now he led the team in receptions last year, did Glidden, and this year off to a fine start as well. David Glidden with a big night to complement Mason Rudolph's career high 401 yards passing. And now with the man of the hour, Mason Rudolph, is our own Steffi Sorensen.
Mason, a career high night for you. Also your first career home start. How did it feel out there?
Felt good to get out here. Had a great showing with our fans. Fans had created a lot of energy, so it was good to get a first one down here at Boone Pickens Stadium.
Now, what was the difference for you from the first half into the second half?
Made some mistakes, kind of rushed. My feet weren't right. A lot of times had some feet issues with some balls being high, but whole offense made some good adjustments, corrected things in the second half.
How much better does it make you feel when your defense only gives up 8 points tonight?
Awesome, man. They played great all night. Defensive line, they did an awesome job pressuring the quarterback. So, a complete team win. Great jobs from my guys all the way around.
We really spread the ball around, but David Glidden had an awesome night tonight. What did you see from him?
He's reliable, man. He's consistent. He makes plays, and he showed a little strength there in that one. And he's throwing that forearm shiver. So that was good stuff. Did a great job. And all of our offensive line did an awesome job, created those plays for us. Did an awesome job of protecting me all night.
Looking ahead to next week, what do you think personally that you have to work on?
Corrections, got to eliminate the turnovers. So ball security is big for me, so I got to improve, and we'll make those improvements.
Thank you, Mason. Congratulations. Mike, back to you.
Steph, thank you much. Rudolph was not only good tonight, but he was generous to the entire receiving corps. In fact, 12 different Cowboys caught passes tonight from Mason Rudolph. As you take a look at the final stats, and not surprisingly, total yards lopsided in the favor of Oklahoma State, nearly 600. When we went to half, the time of possession was actually in favor of Central Arkansas. It actually wound up almost 50-50. But look at third down, 7 of 16 compared to 2 of 15. Central Arkansas, as well as they played, JC, they left some points on the board.
Oh, absolutely. And just really couldn't get, they didn't make any, or just that one explosive play on the reverse pass for a touchdown. Other than that, Central Arkansas really didn't generate any big plays. We talked about that's what they were going to have to do if they were going to hang in this game, and they didn't do that. And Oklahoma State in the second half made big play after big play and really just opened this game up.
You heard Mason Rudolph allude to it. We talked about it a few minutes before he did, and that is, as as much as this offense lights up the scoreboard from time to time, Oklahoma State's defense has a chance to make a lot of noise tonight.
Absolutely, and that's, like you've been saying all night, that I think is what's going to propel this team through the Big 12 Conference, because defensively they're as fast as anybody in the country. They're aggressive and they're deep. So defensively, I think they're going to be able to hang with pretty much any offense out there. The question mark is going to be, can their offense play consistent football and put points on the board?
We shall see. It all starts next week against UTSA Texas San Antonio. That'll do it from Stillwater for us, where again the Oklahoma State Cowboys have defeated the Bears of Central Arkansas 32-8. Next week, more Big 12 football. Our coverage begins at 3 Eastern with Louisiana Tech taking on Kansas State. At 8 p.m. Eastern, SMU faces the third-ranked TCU. For J.C. Pearson, Steffi Sorensen, and our entire Fox crew, this is Mike Morgan saying so long. Thanks for watching. This has been a presentation of Fox College Football. Have a great weekend.